Roll some of that bean footage.
That was actually a very good line when you think about it.
The beautiful bean footage, right? That's what you're referencing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
let's
what
roll
commercial
that
that?
beautiful
Yeah, do you
bean
know what
footage.
commercial that is?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny that you can
The
say?
the Bush's the Bush's beans. You had the Bush's golden retriever. You had I remember it.
Oh yeah. Katie, I see that you're on the YouTubes. This Zoom link should be there. If not, let me share it with you in the messenger, and we'll go ahead and get Sandy on.
Here I
Let's.
got. I'm gonna post it again in here.
Okay.
Usually have to click more on my YouTube to find the link. It doesn't show up automatically on my page anyway.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and send it over to Sandy so that she can
I
share it.
gotta.
There we go. All right. She got it. Good. All right.
My
Awesome.
my beautiful inner circle people,
That's
All
right.
right.
the wonderful becomings.
Hmm.
All right, I
Okay,
got the link now.
everybody. Oh, sorry, Matt.
No, no worries. Go ahead.
All right. So we are streaming on the YouTubes. We are streaming here in the
Yay.
Zooms. And let's get this thing going. Welcome, 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 everybody. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. It is Thursday, June 1st. Wow, June already here. And we are on our way and getting everything going here with the Inner Circle. And we're just so glad and happy to have you join us and be here with us for today. Our exclusive breakthrough session. And we're going to have a special guest coming on. We sent her the link, so she should be here shortly. And in the meantime, we have each and every one of you watching. So that is amazing. If you want to, please go ahead and like the video on YouTube. Just hit that like button. We'd appreciate that. Don't need to tell you to subscribe because you're already subscribed. You're special subscribers. But, for those of you that would also like to join us after we do our first breakthrough, you can go ahead and raise your hand. And basically, you do that by clicking on the reactions button at the bottom of the page. Put your cursor in the middle of the screen. Click. You'll see a button on the bottom that says reactions. Click on reactions, then click on raise hand. Your hand will go up. We will see that you would like to share. We will call upon you, and you will go ahead and work with Robert Hollis. So, that being said, let's get today's breakthrough session started with none other than our GPS to success, our mentor, our dear friend, and the man who is guiding us each and every day with our inner circle, using our inner circle with all these breakthrough sessions, going lives on a daily basis, and everything else. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Hollis.
Wow. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. And I haven't had said hi to Sandy yet. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Mary. I think that I got everybody else. And before we start the breakthroughs, I just thought I'd share with each and every one of you that, don't you find it very interesting that there's a lot of stuff that we get plugged up in our head that stops us into doing something? And then once you do it, it's like, what the heck was wrong with me? Why did, so you guys know that I love sharing the analogy of all the workup I did in my head about having my first kiss. But before that, women already know this, that you got cooties and you just got to stay away from you. You know what I mean? But it's funny. I always use that analogy because, like, for people that really thought that, driving was going to be like something that was going to destroy you. I just can't do this. And Lisa Marie and I have been going back and forth. And one of the things that's been really amazing is, again, I know that I hope that this will help you guys. If you notice one thing in my train of thinking, I have never set myself up to think that I would be the best. Let me share with you about that. So from the time that I can remember people talking about me, I'm talking about adults, is, that kid's a little special. He goes to special classes. He doesn't know how to enunciate words. Back then, I couldn't have said the word enunciate. There was a lot of words that were over 5 letters that I couldn't say, because when I looked at them, they didn't look the way they look like to you, if you can read. Does that make sense? They just scramble up. And so, that slows down my reading, but it also slows down my comprehension. So if everyone was going to tease me about it, don't you find it interesting that I knew that I didn't learn like the other kids, but all the adults in the room would constantly make me realize that I wasn't as good as the other kids. See, this was always a thought in my mind. And it finally got to a place, well, if I'm not good at that, I need to find something else to be good at. Are you guys following me? It was like, okay, so, people would always say, hey, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's not going to be a doctor or a lawyer. He's not going to go to college, which they were wrong. But hey, Corky, great to have you on here. Hi, Rochelle. Hi, Melody. Hi, Jerome. And so the reason that I bring that up is I don't know why I never, ever looked at myself being as good as somebody else. Like, I never had compare-itis, because from the time that I could remember, everyone told me I wasn't as good as everybody else. Are you guys catching that? And so when I even look, if you guys hear my words really closely, I didn't need to be the best mechanic. I just needed to be gooder than I was before. That's where that word came from. If I just get gooder each and every day, then I'm just going to continue to get gooder. And because I had that mentality and the only competitor was me being better than I was before, that it ended up working out very well for me, because an ordinary person approving every day catches up with those people that are already good, that know they're good. So it was this phrase that I learned from, my billionaire mentor, Roger Penske. And he says, the best talent and skill will never compete with someone that's consistent and getting better each and every day. See, so that word Kaizen came from Toyota, that was actually built, from Edward Deming, a very well-known economist and engineer. He was paid to go over to Japan to rebuild Japan after we dropped a couple of bombs on them. How do you motivate a group of people that just had a couple of nuclear bombs dropped on them? I want you to think about that. This is how he did it. I don't know if you guys know, and he's an American. So he said, I don't know if you guys know Americans very well, but they take a lot of pride in their automobiles. And you got Chrysler competing against Ford, competing against Chevy. So their whole pride is, I'm a Chevy lover, I'm a Ford lover, I'm a Mopar lover. And they put a lot of pride into this. They have muscle cars and they go against each other. So he said, what if we made a car and we just made it better every time we made another car? We just consistently got better and better and better and better. Can you guys imagine one day having Toyota selling more cars in the American market than the American cars? Because you don't want to attack them. You want to crush their pride. So if he put in their thoughts back then that one day a Toyota would be dominant in the Indy cars. A Toyota would be dominating the Indy Lights. A Toyota would dominate in the NASCAR series. Are you guys getting my point? It's like, are you kidding me? And so when I decided to work for Toyota, there was only one reason: me. So I moved to California. Then I asked every mechanic that I knew, where did the mechanics make the best income? And they all went Toyota. And I said, why? They said their vehicles are so good, you don't have to do warranty work on them. So a lot of people don't know this little fact because you don't know that you don't know. But when a mechanic works for Ford or General Motors or Chrysler, if you work on a vehicle that's new and it's under warranty, you get half your hourly rate. Did you guys know that? So if you got paid $15 an hour, you had to work because you work for Chevy dealership. Now you get $7.50 an hour for working on a warranty vehicle. So if more vehicles came in under warranty, a mechanic would get paid less. So those commercials were true if you guys remember seeing them. They would show a Toyota truck driver. He's driving a pickup and he says, I got 310,000 miles on my truck. And it's only the second time that I've changed the clutch in it. And people are going, because this was back in the day when Americans were making disposable cars, like the Vega, the Pinto, the Gremlin. So we're trying to compete against Toyota by making disposable cars that couldn't make it 30,000 miles. Is that crazy? So Americans were cheapening down their cars and they were constantly blowing up or having other problems, while another line of cars just said Kaizen, getting better each and every day. So when I chose to work for Toyota, virtually every friend that I had like disowned me. How could you work for a foreign company? And I was like, are you going to make up my checks? What are you talking about? Well, if you make, $4,000 a month and I make $8,000 and I choose to go work for Chevy or Ford or Chrysler, are you going to make up the difference? So when I got involved in network marketing and I seen my mentor, Bill Gould, making $62,000, my mind immediately goes, I can get 10%. I'm just going to try figure it out. And I'm going to get 10% because $6,000 a month will allow me to do this instead of being a auto mechanic. Are you guys following me? Because there's still some of us that watch this video live or recorded where we think we got to figure everything out. So I was sharing with Lisa Marie today that Matt, from the time that we seen podcasts, he goes, Dad, you got to do a podcast. Dad, you got to do a podcast. Let me share with you guys so you understand why we're doing breakthroughs. All right. It's to take away your excuses. So my mind went, you got to have special microphones. You got to have special video cameras. You got to have a movie set, a room directly for podcasts. And I know that my son even thought that for a little bit. So, because he never ever said, Dad, you don't need any of that. So then I find a mentor. You guys know who I'm following, Evan Carmichael. And he goes, listen, you got to get on your YouTube channel. You got to do a podcast. You got to start doing lives. You got to start doing this. You got to start doing this. And that's what I want to do for you guys, is just hold your feet to the fire a little bit to tell you, listen, stop making up all the excuses for what you're doing and just do it. So I went on YouTube and I looked up how to do a podcast on YouTube. And it says, go in your back office and click on the button podcast. Oh, okay. Wow, now the tab's there. So now that the tab's there, when I go to load a video or do a live, it says, do you want this to be live? Do you want it scheduled at another time? Or do you want this to be podcast? I want this to be podcast. And now you're doing a podcast. So I know there's a lot of thoughts that I had, but some of you know this and some of you don't. I'm using the microphone off my laptop. And so people are like, well, I got to get the fancy mic. I got to get the fancy camera. I got to get the fancy everything. I got to get, no, you don't. So then when I see people doing podcasts and live breakthroughs off their phone, wait a minute. So Matt tells me, go Dad, download YouTube Studio. And I download YouTube Studio and I click on it and it says, do you want to go live? Do you want to do a podcast? There's people right now that are flat out kicking our asses because they don't think. They go on YouTube and say, how do I do a podcast? Log into your YouTube and click on podcast. Next step, click on podcast and go live. They're doing it from their phone. They don't even know that we have the problems we're having. So Lisa Marie is asked me to do an interview with her. And then she leaves me a message today going, I'm not ready. I don't know what the attentions are. I don't know this. And it's like, Lisa Marie, listen, here's your attentions. Let me see if I got you right. One is having me on your interview gives you just a little bit of credibility. Two, it also documents that we know each other. Three, ask me all the questions that you've always had that everyone else has. Right? Two, I want more subscribers and I want more views. Is there anything wrong with those intentions? No. And so I just wanted Lisa Marie to know that what she's going through right now is what I go through. You guys just don't know it. Oh my God, how do you do a podcast? Oh my God, see, Corky's going, me too. And what we do is instead of just going to YouTube and saying that we're going to do it, we say, you know, I'm not ready. Maybe I'll get better, da, 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 da. When everyone you listen to, including me hiring Evan Carmichael, is the first thing he does is he said, listen, you know what video it was when I got off the video and went, man, I was on fire. That was good. He said, I think it was video like 714. And all of us go, wow, do I have to wait that long? Not if you're doing a couple of videos a day. So that's when I made a decision a year and a half ago to just do a Facebook Live. And people go, where's the ideas come from? Other people's YouTube channels. I don't care if you steal all my ideas. Wow, I like that video. I'm going to use that title. I'm going to use everything that, just follow it. Now, I want to show you something before we go through the breakthrough. Again, I want you guys to understand this very closely. I don't know what your vision is. Well, wait a minute. I know what Corky's is because we did a breakthrough. I know what John's is because we did a breakthrough. I know what Lisa Marie's is because we did a breakthrough. I know what Bill's is because we did a breakthrough. Are you guys understanding this? So when you have a clear vision, the only reason that I'm doing YouTube is for one reason: impact more people. It's not for money. It's not for any other reason than help other people get their vision. Vision inspires success in others now. They now are going to be excited about their future and they're looking forward to their future. So they're moving into action. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I've done a lot of videos. It's like, I can't even count. But when I made a decision to do this YouTube channel, I want you guys to know that it's just a little bit at a time, you know. So where I was going to show you guys this. I guess I can show you that first. Of course, this is for my inner circle members, right? So until my YouTube income passes this, I like the concept of affiliate marketing with MDC. That's all I'm going to say, right? So I'm not changing. And then you go to here and see where it says $490 more. So how many people would be okay with making $780 a month on their YouTube channel? So there's only one reason that I show you this stuff. Only one. Is if you see the day that we had the most views, it was also the same day that I posted the most videos. What a concept, man. What a concept. I did something by accident. I took a video because I was trying to figure out the podcast, and I posted, oh my God, did I make 4 mistakes? I did make 4 mistakes. Are you guys still hung up with making mistakes? Okay, so when I go to my YouTube channel, okay, so when I click on podcasts, how many people watch Corky's podcast? See, I still haven't figured out how to separate these. I would like one here and one here instead of clicking on a full list of podcasts. Us doing our first one, or me saying we're going to do them. Then, of course, me and the visionaries, you know, Craig and Matthew, and then this one. So I haven't figured it out yet, but I don't plan on procrastinating, right? I'm just going to throw it up, and Matt's always laughed at me because, you know, we got our...
Hello, buddy, this is Robert.
So I wanted to figure out how to do a short. Craig, thank you very much. So there's some people that don't have any videos on their channel. All they have is shorts. Then I figured out how to do a live. Oh, watch how hard this is. Create. Go live. Oh my God. Can't go live. I'm on a live. All right. Little tiny things, right? So I just wanted to share with you that reason I'm doing YouTube, the reason I even got on Facebook is I now have the mentality. See, I used to say, you know, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. I'm allowed to change my mind. And I think all the women here will go, you absolutely do. So now I understand that the reason that we have to do micro content is to get people to understand where the new content is being held. Does that make sense to you guys? And so now you're going to see me and Craig and Matt start doing short videos and posting them on them all. When I did my Facebook Live today, I not only shared it on LinkedIn, but I also shared it on my Twitter account. So I'm going to get this down, and I know that you can get it down. Anytime you want to ask questions, just ask questions. But I just wanted to share with you guys that I'm far from perfect, but if there's anything that I'm constantly doing is I'm constantly doing something instead of thinking about it. If someone really wanted to say, Robert, what makes you you? I don't give a rip about failing. I don't. I'll go in there and click on everything. And we had a Facebook account with advertising on Facebook, and I got it shut down because I'll figure it out as I go. And people go, but isn't that a bad thing? No, it wasn't a bad thing. If I wanted to continue to do it, I would create a different Facebook account and just go through that or hire an advertising firm. But I get stuff done. So that's what I want you guys to know. So when you're saying, hey, when what are we doing? Remember the donut? I'm making the donut, but then Robert says now he's doing sprinkles. Oh my God, he put sprinkles. Just throw some sprinkles on it. All this is too technical. No, that's an affirmation that you should never say out of your mouth again. This is too technical. That's an affirmation that you should say. Never say again. I'm too busy. I don't have time for this. Just stop it. Fail your way to success. Fail your way to fulfillment, happiness, joy, whatever. So, Craig, let's talk to our first person that we're going to have a breakthrough with, and we'll get going.
Fantabulous. What a great way to open up this breakthrough session. Thank you so much. And even for sharing, because ladies and gentlemen, that's how easy it is to do YouTube. It just takes practice. In fact, practice makes permanent, as Robert likes to share. And, if you've never seen it before, I'm going to post it in the chat. It's under Robert's name, but it's the very, very first video that Robert did, or his testimonial.
Why are you doing that? I thought we were having fun here today. No, I'm kidding.
Because,
yeah.
If you think about it, Robert had to start someplace. This is his first testimonial, and look where he is now. So, yeah, fail your way to success. What is it? Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try.
Absolutely.
And Nike just says, do it. So, anyways, before we get started, before we start with our very first breakthrough session, I also want to welcome new members to the Inner Circle.
Please.
Anthony D. Francis, Rosina Marie, Tonya Laverne, Billy Ballard, and Jay Clark. Thank you guys so much. You joined us within the last week, so you got a mention here in the Inner Circle in the breakthrough.
Rosina, I just met her last night on Zoom. From an old friend. Craig might be surprised when I say this name with Matthew, but a lady called him up and said, "I'm tired of doing this business wrong. I'm ready to do it right." And Mike Miramoto said, "You need to talk to Hollis." So
fantabulous.
She's gonna light things up, man. She's successful in a couple of other companies, but she's tired of the BS. So it's cool. And hi, Randy. Hi, Jerome. Hi, Peter's iPad.
And then also thank you to Santa Corky. Bless you for opening us up with a donation.
What?
Yeah, he did that again.
Can you imagine when me and him have to go through our taxes and people going, I don't get it. You gave him $1 million and he gave you $1 million. It's like, hey, well, there you go. You figure it out on your own.
And if you do want to share with us a donation, very easy. On the bottom of the chat in YouTube, there's a little $ in a box. Click on that. And you could donate, and we will send all those donations to a charitable organization that Robert works with. So,
how long do you guys think it took me to figure out how much Corky helped us with our podcast yesterday, and how fast do you think it took me to get Corky that money? Like instantly? Yeah. So. Yeah.
And I'll put the link for the podcast in the chat shortly as we get things rolling. Okay. So
Ireland. Peter said he's from Ireland.
Peter said he's from Ireland? Welcome, Peter Stewart. I hope my Irish is as good as yours.
Perfect.
Let's get started. Today we are going to get started. Okay. Got to say thank you to Jerome Marshall for another donation in the super chat. So,
love you guys.
Appreciate you. Let's get started. Sandy Baker, I'm sorry to have kept putting you off there, but things happen. But it is now your turn. Thank you so much for helping us with today's breakthrough session by being a part of it. So there is your link to open up. Please share with us.
Hello.
Hi, Sandy. How are you?
I am good. I'm extremely nervous.
Awesome.
Is that
I'm telling
awesome?
you, awesome. Every time that I even where I am today, Sandy, if I reach out to a mentor, reach out to somebody that I respect and say, hey, I want your help with something. I'm just as nervous. So thank you very much. I don't know why we're that way, but me, that nervousness and is exciting. It's really, really exciting because I've been nervous about other things in my life and they turned out pretty good.
Oh, good. No, same here, same here. And I am excited. I'm so excited, but yeah, I'm just like nervous.
Just relax. It's just you and I and yeah.
Okay,
Are you a believer?
I am.
Close your eyes.
Okay.
Dear Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, I just ask you to allow Sandy just to speak to me from her heart and give me the words to say for her ears to be able to help her glorify you. And two, gathered in your name, it shall come to pass. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so I am having trouble. And it was so funny because I was talking yesterday with Katie and some other girls, and I said, I know I don't know what I'm stuck on. I'm stuck on something. I know something is stopping me. And then all of a sudden your post popped up and I was like, what the hell? This was like, wait a minute. So I'm like, okay. So you had done a video before and you talked about the scorpion and the frog. And
Yes.
then I was watching my Pink Lady show because I'm a huge Grease fan, and that phrase popped up in there too. And I was like, okay. And then that happened yesterday, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. This is it.
Yep.
This is a sign.
Well, thank you. Thank you for following the signs. A lot of us have to be open to looking for the signs.
Yeah, true.
And it's usually when we're willing to admit that we're lost. So an example, has any of you ever driven someplace and you thought you were lost?
Mhm.
How close do you look for sign? It's like,
Right.
I see a green sign coming up. And I wish there was a mile marker. Where's the interstate sign? Does it say north or south? It's funny when we feel like we're lost, we should be looking for signs.
Right, right.
And I ask for help. I just say, dear God, help me. You know what I mean? Let me be open. So good for you.
Thank you. And so I am ready. I know that I know it's just me. I know I'm stopping myself. And I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive that it's because of the way I grew up. And my real mother passed away when I was a year and a half old. And I never knew my dad until after I had my first daughter, and I was 21 when I had her. So I didn't have any mother-father interaction. Now, my grandmother adopted me because my real mom passed away and my dad wasn't there. And then my grandpa ended up dying when I was 6 from cancer.
Oh my Lord.
So I grew up thinking, okay, I really don't know who I am because my real mom wasn't there, even though my grandma was there. And my dad wasn't there. So I just don't know who I am.
God bless you. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Yes,
Okay.
it does. And first of all, thank you for being so brave to share that with me. And, I know that it'll sound weird that I'm saying this, but I'm sorry that happened to you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that happened to you. I know a lot of people immediately respond to, what are you sorry for? You didn't do anything.
Right.
But I can still feel compassion and love for the situation that you went through. So when you say that, you think it's that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I noticed something that you also did. You said, I don't know who I am.
Right.
So it really doesn't make a difference what happened prior to you. Is if you just really don't know who Sandy is, You're still discovering that.
True. True.
So what we do is we grow up because we become who we hang around. We also got all this programming that happens. And there's a lot of people that say stuff like this. They say, oh, well, you know, your mother and father programmed you. You got that from your mother and father. You're like, well, you're wrong there.
Right.
So then is it grandma and grandpa? Well, not too much of grandpa, right? So we look at all the people that we hung around, and we want to find the reason in the past for who we are today. And that's just the way the mind thinks. Why do I do things the way I do it? It's got to be from my past programming, which is absolutely true. But what's really unique about who we are as human beings is that we have the ability to create and renew our mind and be a new spirit in a millisecond. So a lot of people, what they do is they say, you know, for those religions and beliefs that believe in baptism or being christened, it's like that's taking off the old Sandy and bringing in the new Sandy. And they say you do that by the renewing of your mind. That, yeah, this ugly past happened to me, but now I'm going to create a new Sandy.
Okay.
Because if I took Sandy, and I hope you guys are all hearing this, and again, thank you for being so brave. If I pulled Sandy out of her current environment and stuck you in a whole different environment, you would adapt so fast and so quick, it will blow your mind. Why? It's called survival. So you got two people that get captured, and all of a sudden they're prisoners of war. And you got the people that can't stop thinking about the things that they lost, and they perish pretty fast. For a lack of vision, people perish. So they're immediately allowing the forces to destroy them because they don't know how to look to the future. And then you have people like McCain and other people that were prisoners of war, and they not only got out of the prisons, and when they're asked, well, how are you able to go through all that torture and see all these people killed, and you were in these prison camps, and how are you to make it through it? And they all say the same sentence. I just couldn't wait to see my family again. I just imagined every day what it was going to be like when I seen my family again, what I was going to do when I seen my family again, how much I was going to show them how much I love and miss them when I see them again. See everything they're doing. And I think it's pretty amazing that all spiritual beliefs talk about this vision, this imagination you're supposed to have. Because what you're doing is God created you to create. So we think we can't create. Do you have any children, Sandy?
I have 2 adult daughters. I have 3 granddaughters and a grandson on the way.
So you're a pretty amazing creator. Did you ever think of that?
No, I did not think of that.
So you were created to create, and now you got multi-level.
Mm-hmm.
You got kids that have kids, and eventually those kids will have kids.
Right.
And so you have the ability, because like my wife, she is the most awesome mom in the world because that's what she wanted to be. So when she's always looking forward to what she can do to take care of her kids and what she can do to take care of the grandkids. It's this constant focus where if I said to you, Sandy, on a scale to 1 to 10, how good of a grandma are you?
I'm going to say, okay, don't laugh. I'm going to say I'm a 10 because I left my job of 27 years to take care of them so their parents didn't have to do daycare.
Now, who do you think got me to ask you that?
I don't know.
We prayed before we started.
Oh, we did, yes.
So I immediately was given what you feel the most confident in,
Okay,
because you created that. No one else created the grandma that you are. You did
True.
that. And you not only did that, you made a decision to do that. You put in the effort to make it happen. You said immediate 10, but you didn't talk about your past having anything to do with you being a grandma.
true.
So your
That's
parents not being there, your grandpa dying when you were young. See, none of that stuff stopped you from being the best grandma on the planet. And there's probably a lot of people that will watch this live and recorded that would like to say, well, you don't know who I am because I think I'm the best grandma. But it doesn't make a difference what they feel. Sandy knows what Sandy feels.
Right.
So if you made the sacrifices, you quit your job, you made a mental decision to be there for those grandkids.
Yes.
Where do you think that came from?
I think that came from, I think it's always been inside me to be a nurturer. And I had helped raise my nieces and nephews, and I actually took in my niece when she was 14. So she came and she lived with us also. So we had my niece and then our two daughters. So I've always been a nurturer, and I always feel that that is just part of who I am, which is one of the reasons why I ended up going into self-love energy healing, because then I can help other people do that. But I feel conflicted because I'm like, how the hell do I help them if I don't know how to help myself?
You're doing that now.
I know now I am, yes. But I wasn't.
Okay, you wasn't, because it takes a lot of trust. It takes a lot of bravery and confidence to reach out to someone else to get them to help us think different. Say, it's like we create our own world in a way. And when we do that, it's like, you know, we really don't want anybody in there messing with that world, really.
Right.
But in your story, there was a individual that was a grandma that stepped in to rescue.
Yes.
Wow. Did you ever look at your programming as being good?
I have not looked at that, no.
Everything that has happened in your past, this is going to sound weird, because if you know my story, there's two things that I've been able to do. Is not only release and forgive everything, but now it's like everything that happened in my past made me who I am today. So it was not only the forgiveness, but now it's like the awful, horrible things that happened to me that just is not just, they shouldn't have happened. I'm now going, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. Thank God. I see there's no rhyme or reason in trying to understand the mystery of our plan.
Okay.
But most people look back and talk about all the negative stuff. And now I've freed it up so much that I've told my son and people that know me well, is that I now remember good things that happened in my childhood. I now think about, oh my God, this one uncle did make a difference. This one person did make a difference. I couldn't see their interaction in my life because I was too upset at the people that wronged me.
Got it. I got it.
I was looking at the wrong signs. So now all these people, weird things happen to you, doesn't make them good or bad. That's what people do, is they got to make them good or bad. Oh, woe is me, or, oh my God, I'm glad that happened. But there was this nidus on a white horse that swept in. And that is a viewpoint of someone that was there to help you. to take care of you. And now you're passing on that legacy.
Okay.
You're like, this lady didn't have to take me in. This lady didn't have to do all these things. I want to be that kind of lady.
I see that.
See it?
Yep, I see that.
So now moving forward, if everything in your past was, you could turn it into a blessing. You know what I mean? Why are you a caregiver? Because that's what you wanted. Why do you care so much? Because that's what you wanted. What are the other things that you do, like the energy work? So you did this healing because you wanted to be healed. So you seeked out things to make Sandy better, not realizing that the way that you feel better is by giving to others. So how do you feel when you help someone heal?
I feel really good when I help somebody heal, because a lot of times, just like trying to do the breakthrough here, a lot of times they don't know what their hidden trauma was, and I help them bring that out, and then that makes them less anxious. It makes them love themselves more, and so I feel really good about that.
Awesome. So now, moving forward from today, the grandma out of 1 to 10, that's a 10 as a grandma. What other things does Sandy want to be the wonderful becoming? What are the other things that Sandy really wishes to have come true and 3 years from now? So 3 years from now, you get up, give me Sandy's perfect day.
My perfect day, I'm going to be getting up, looking over the ocean. I am going to be having breakfast with both of my girls and all of their families. And I'm going to be hanging out at the beach. We're going to have our lunch. We are going to go have dinner out somewhere. We are going to the seminar that I'm going to be on stage talking about. And I will also
it's going to be your seminar.
It's my seminar.
You're not speaking at somebody else's seminar.
Oh, it's my seminar. I'm going to be at my seminar. And I'm going to be announcing my new book that I am in the process of writing, and that I'm going to be opening up a local, here where I live, a local center for children with apraxia, because my granddaughter has that.
What is that?
Apraxia is her muscles. I don't know what to say. Her muscles. Her thinking from her brain to her mouth doesn't connect all the way, and so sometimes she can't say a word correctly, or sometimes she could say it correctly, and then the very next minute she can't say it, or she'll get too excited and then she'll kind of like start sputtering out words. But yeah. Yep, apraxia of speech.
When I'm anxious and scared, my dyslexia gets worse. So someone will say, "Come on, you can say that word." I'm going to stutter now.
Yeah, and she gets really frustrated if we don't understand what she's saying, and so I wanna be able to help other kids not be so frustrated and trying to work through that. And I want a local center for that.
I love you. God bless you. That is so cool. So now, I've done a lot of these over 36 years. The very first time that I had a conversation, the clarity of your vision has been in the top 2 of everyone I've talked to.
It's vision.
Yeah, it's like vision inspires success in others now. And now all you do is you got to turn that into a daydream where you're thinking about it all the time.
Okay.
All right. And so if you're thinking about it all the time, and yeah, I know you got to do other things that you got to focus on, but that's what you're going to do. That's where you're going to click and really make it happen. You know, so like Katie with the fairy hair, you know what I mean? That was just brief thing, but for her to talk about that, and then it's almost like it seems like it's every week she's doing that. It's pretty amazing how fast we can walk into our vision when it's constantly a daydream, and we really just let go and allow the things to happen. So what we do is we sometimes we'll put the vision way out there. I always talk about like it's driving someplace. So you're going to drive. Where you live, Sandy?
Michigan.
Michigan. I love Michigan. Spent a lot of time in a lot of cities in Michigan. And
Yeah, about 10 minutes from Lake Michigan.
oh, wow. Yeah. Mount Clemens,
Oh, yeah.
some of the top people that I've had in the network marketing industry, I gotten from there. There's a company called ACN that started out of Southfield, Michigan. And Tony and Mike Kupas, the owners of that company, I met. And I told them where my office was, and they went, "Are you okay?" So I did an ad in the paper, and I moved to Detroit. And then when I was living on West 8 Mile Road with
Oh,
this.
okay.
And so he had bars on his windows at an insurance company.
Yes.
And Mike and Tony Kupas told me, "Do you know how many strip clubs we had to pass to get to your office?" And I went, "Well, it all starts somewhere."
Look at Eminem.
And so that ended up going to Novi and Southfield and Mount Clemens. There was a guy that I brought in. The Velgers are their last name, and they had the largest marina on the Great Lakes. So pretty awesome. So if you were going to drive from where you are to Orlando, okay.
Yep.
1 is making the decision. 2 is putting the money together and doing a little bit of planning. Then getting on the road, or I say get to Orlando. You're going, "Can I fly?" Well, I'd rather fly than drive. Okay, that's an option. I'd rather fly private. That's another avenue. So all of a sudden you figure out ways to make that happen. And then what you do is you just start telling the world what you're going to do.
Okay.
And so now, how do you think what that correlates? Because as you go, some people are going to need pee breaks when they didn't think they needed them. Some people are going to need some sleep when they didn't think they needed it. Might have heavy rainfall someplace there and you got to take a break. There's all these things that you just start going toward your vision, and just know that the things that happen are just happening and you're just going to go through them. It's not something trying to resist you. So now with that vision that you just shared with me, that was extremely clear and not a doubt in my mind, for those of you that were listening, how many people want to agree with Sandy that this is going to happen? So put a 1 in the chat, or wave your hands, or do whatever. And so with that said, Sandy, now I know that you're also involved in MDC, correct?
Correct.
So how do you think MDC fits into that travel of that journey?
MDC will fit into that travel of the journey because, and this is what's so great. Okay, so MDC's products are actually going to be helping my healing people that I'm helping with their life. So it's gonna either, like for me, the oils, what saved my sanity. And so there's some people that don't, that are trauma, their hidden trauma is that they've got trouble with food or something. Well, our digestive products can help with that, so on and so forth like that. So the products that we have here will correlate right with my energy healing.
Is there any other aspect that MDC has that is another avenue other than just the products that will help your clients and the people that you know?
Yeah, MDC got me out of my shell. So I would never go anywhere with anybody without my husband. And now I've been to Vegas. That's where I met Katie. I've been to Vegas. I've been to Orlando. I've been to Texas, all because of MDC by myself. And I'm going to Nashville by myself.
Without your husband?
Without my husband.
So we got the products, and then we had this thing where it's pulling Sandy out of her shell and allowing her to be confident that she can travel on her own, that she can find friends all by herself,
I
If you
can.
if you can find your way from the airport to the hotel or the convention center all by yourself,
All by myself.
that's huge. I totally know what it's like, because Terry had to take one international flight without me. And she said that's never going to happen again. You know what I mean? So it was awful. It was awful. So but it seems to go smooth with me for whatever reason. All right.
Everything's always better when the husband's there.
Yeah, but maybe it's not me worrying that things are going to happen that might help. So is there any other aspects of MDC that could help in that journey?
Yeah, the money.
Wow. Okay. Do you think there's a real reason why that was third on your list?
I think it was third on my list because I didn't grow up with money, so I know life can happen without money.
Yeah.
But money eventually does help, but that's lower down on the list.
So things that we might have heard in the past, like, listen, what's more important, family or money?
Right.
Definitely family.
Right.
I definitely family. What would go between family and money? No, God would go above money. So my spirituality is more important. My sanity is more important. My me being respected in my community, having my children, my grandchildren love me. That's all more important than money.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
If do you think that money could change you?
It could change. I never want to say it's going to change me personally, but yes, I do believe it can, and yes, I do believe it could change my lifestyle.
Okay, good or bad?
Good. Because
do you see why I have to ask that question?
Yeah, but good because the more I make, the more I could give.
Yes, absolutely. So now, would you say that if money could make your dreams happen faster? So we know where the products are going to go. So as you do your healing work and you create this center and you do all this thing for people, right? And you're bringing them in, there's not a doubt that you're an advocate of the products that can help them.
Correct.
Okay. You also love MDC because it's introduced you to a whole new family, including me.
Correct.
Okay. So I love that part. In 36 years of doing this, I would say that over 50% of the people that are my friends right now really got involved in network marketing just for the atmosphere. Okay. They use the products. They love the products. They never really made any money, and they will follow me anywhere. And it's that family. So if you ask certain people that hang around me, if they go, well, why are you in MDC? They're going to go, Robert. And you go, so didn't you get in because of the money? I'm not making any money. See, so it's like, so I bring that up, Sandy, because what you want to do in the future, MDC still gives you that personal side. All right. It also got the products that you can give to your clients. In your mind, what do you think you'd have to do different if you want to? So would being a 25K or being a 250K or a 500K, a super affiliate, are those thoughts in your mind that you'd want to achieve?
Most definitely. Those are thoughts in my mind that I want to achieve.
Okay. Because if you do that, you can't lead with product.
Right.
See, that's where people have this little difficulty. I love the product. It saved my life. I love MDC. It's got the best products ever. I love Josh and Jenna. I love where this company is going. I love Katie and Vernay and my new, family, and now
my
Robert,
girls.
my now Robert, right? And so the next step that you go into is like, Well, if you're looking at MDC to make you money, that's where you have to sort of think about what would be the perfect MDC organization. Because see, let me give you a clear picture of that. So see, you
Okay.
gave me the vision of the other things that you like, but can you imagine, making $1 million a year? You're a super affiliate. You have 20,000 active people in your group, but none of them ever call you. Because they're busy doing what they're doing for their reasons and their vision. Now, every once in a while, we have an event like in Nashville, and we all get to see each other and laugh and giggle and talk about the past when it was difficult before I got my vision clear. But now all of a sudden, it's like, wow, would you like people in your group to make money?
Mhm. Of course.
That needs to be a focus.
Okay.
See what I mean? So
Yes, I do.
me, when I got involved in MDC, because I've been doing this for 31 years, I did it because I wanted a cash flow for my wife so she could do whatever she wanted and support her animals. That's the only reason I got involved in MDC, was I was going to build a little business for my wife. And where did my ego come in? My ego came in because there was a lot of people in the world that were professing that they were network marketing trainers and coaches. They just didn't want to attempt to build a group again. So they would tell everyone it was a conflict of interest.
Okay.
When honestly, that's just a lie. They didn't like building a group. So now they'd rather tell people how to build a group.
Got it.
Because why wouldn't you don't go to a professional basketball player. The finals are tonight, and this Java kick, I'm probably saying his name wrong, from the Denver Nuggets. This is the first time the Denver Nuggets have ever been in a final of the NBA for the World Championship. And you see this kid being asked the questions. They go, everyone's saying that you're the most valuable player. You won that award for the NBA. Now you go into finals. You'll probably win it there. What's it feel like for people to say that you're the guy that defeated, LeBron James? You're the one that beat the Lakers. And he goes, to be honest, I love playing basketball, and I have good days and bad days. Everybody loves this kid, like we love all the kids that are doing it for the love of doing it, and they don't get caught up in their ego, and they don't get caught up in other things.
Okay.
See what I mean?
I do.
So he's passionate to play the game, and he wants to be the best player for his team. Of course, he wants to win the accolades with his team. And what happens is some people lose that a little bit. And now what they do is they don't want to do the thing they're teaching. They just want to teach about it.
Okay.
And so I called them all out 5 years ago and said, why don't you create a position for a nonprofit? Why don't you create a position for your wife or one of your children and prove to everybody that you can take it from zero to super affiliate? I challenged them all. And none of them wanted to take me up on it. So, because I was taught something different that I see taught in the world. And right now, we're being forced to look at that. So right now, the number one thing that's on everyone's mind is whether or not these so-called elected officials are going to stop us from going into bankruptcy. Now, this has happened 101 times. They're just going to barely make it. So we all got to sit around and go, oh, that's why those idiots are there.
Mm-hmm.
They saved us again 102 times now. They found a way to all agree that they should allow the credit card company. I got a $10,000 credit limit, but now I'm at $12,000 because of all the minimum payments that I made. So I'm going to call the credit card company and go, listen, if you raise it to 50, I promise I'll start making payments. Okay. So it's bizarre what we hear and then what's the next step, right? So right now, everyone's trying to figure out how to make money while Josh Wagel is just making this better and better and better and better and better and better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so people don't catch when he says this little thing. Well, listen, Sandy, become an affiliate for free. Glance at the products in your little mini store that you could supplement away from Walmart, Target, you know, Costco and Amazon. And then once you like the product, start sharing your affiliate link so other people can become an affiliate for free and then share their mini store.
Okay.
When other people are going, oh my God, this is the best product in the world. It's patent, it's the best, scientists. There's that, see, it's like you got this store. It'd be like you having a convenience store. And as soon as I walk through the door, you have plexiglass walking me through the store. And you're only allowing me when I get finally to a shelf, it gets smaller. And there's only enough room for me to reach my hand through and grab one product in the whole convenience store. I was going like, wait a minute, while I'm in here, I was thinking about getting some donuts and I was thinking about getting some water. No. You focus on this product. And so when you understand that, oh, to fulfill my vision, what do I want to make? I want to make $10,000 a month. And I want to get there fast. Okay, great. That's 1,111 people on 90 PV.
I'm writing this down.
I know you are. And believe it or not, we don't have to go into that part because Katie reached out to me and said, "Hey, can you do one of your little things for our team?" And I said,
Our team, yeah.
Because all it is when you figure out how you're going to get to Orlando and you figure out how you're going to get there, it's how much speed do you want to get there? How fast do you want to get there? And once you figure out the right thing to take, then you make the commitment and you go.
Okay.
See, so people always think that I'm saying, Sandy, is they think I'm saying stop doing what you're doing and only do this. That's, if you've listened to my videos, that's where I say, listen, this is how you make a perfect donut. And then I go, now that you made the donut, that's beautiful. I go, can you put some sprinkles on it? And you're going, okay. And then you throw the donut away and you're pissed off. And you go, I'll start all over. I just asked you to put sprinkles on it. Just add this to what you're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll notice that if the goal is to not worry about finances anymore more, then that needs to be the focus.
Okay.
Is that interesting?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So how do you think this session went?
I think it went really good. It's given me some different perspective of how I was thinking before. I was really excited about coming in to do this now before I went to Nashville, because I want to correlate this to, I wanted to have a very clear vision of exactly what I wanted before I went there and listened to Mark talk.
Awesome. And you do know this, and if you don't, I hope you will. Do you know that Mia Marcusetta was recruited by the same guy 2 weeks apart?
I did not.
He was on the East Coast. I was on the West Coast. So the mentor that did this training, it was called Perpetual Money Machine instead of The View. And me and Mark got to watch that training maybe 8 or 9 times from the guy that created it. No one else has ever done what you guys are going to see in The View.
Oh, I am so excited.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this. It's really helped a lot. I was a nervous wreck, but I'm okay now, I think I'm okay now.
Yeah.
It gave me a lot of perspective. I know that I just got to wrap my head around it a little bit and then just refocus how I want to do it and then just go.
Yeah. And you being an inner circle, you got to understand that you're family to me.
Yes.
Okay. So even if you're thinking in your mind, did he say do this or do this? Because you'll notice that a process that I follow. And I'll leave you with this. Do you guys notice when you're on any social media that you'll have a 5-second advertisement that comes to you that's right in your face?
Yep.
What I mean by that, it's like, hey, I can show you how I made $480,000 in the last 6 months. Let me show you my back office. See, people that are product driven don't like those commercials. Isn't that interesting? Because they look at it and they go, oh my God, it's just about the money for them. Well, that advertisement is going after a select group of people. Because there are people that want to make a lot of money and they're willing to do anything, including unethical stuff. So when we got our priorities where it's God, family, then my business, and I love the product. Oh my God, you want to get me on a product testimonial? Everyone's buying. And all those 3 things are before money. Why can't they all be equal? See, we're told, hey, Sandy, you don't have to say this. Are you red or blue?
Right.
See?
But I don't have to say that.
Are you Muslim or are you Christian? See what I mean? It's like this whole thing that we do in the world is either or. Are you going to be happy and just love your family? Are you going to sell out for the money?
I'm going to sell out for the money.
So it's this world that constantly says it's either or. And then there's people that come out with songs that say, I want it all and I want it now.
True.
So I know that you're the person, even though I don't really know you, but I know that if you accidentally or on purpose or intentionally won the lottery, you're already thinking of the people you're going to take care of. It's just your nature. So we understand the frog nature, right?
Right.
But Sandy has the grandma,
Yes.
the nurturing grandma. So when you give money or create money in a flow that's abundance, the windows of heaven open up and I'm going to just put so much abundance on you. It's going into good soil. So you just got to allow that to happen. Believe in it. And things will come to you in the vision. Once you start putting that vision out there, is you go, hey, by the way, I thought I'd share with you quickly why I'm doing this.
Got it.
And I'm doing this and this and this. And I think this is a way that you can make your visions come true as well. And now your whole focus on building a group is around people making enough money where they can supplement, double, and replace their income. Doesn't mean that you have to stop selling the product. See, this is the either or again. Okay. So people hear me and they go, Robert says leading with the product's stupid. You shouldn't even be posting with the product. What part of your rebellious spirit says, I'm not doing that? See, so people hear me and I'm trying to tell them, hey, here's another way of happening in it. But you don't understand. I've been selling product forever. I love the product. I tell everyone that the product's the best. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm just saying, how long have you been in MDC?
Almost 5 years.
Is your rank and your income on a monthly basis what you thought it would be?
No.
Add the sprinkles.
Okay.
Don't destroy the donut.
Okay.
We're just going to take a portion of your time and get you to learn how to lead with income. Do you know the other reason that a lot of people don't lead with income?
Why?
It's because they believe if they don't see their income to be something that they believe the other people would respect, then they're sort of lying. See, you don't have to lie about what the product's done for you. You see how
True.
strong your belief is, your confidence. So if someone said, I've heard CBD is really not that big of a deal, you're like, listen, you're wrong. You are really totally wrong. But if you're not making a full-time income in MDC, then how can I possibly lead with that?
Exactly, because I know you had always said that go in and show them your back office. I'm like, I can't show them my back office.
But see, here's the thing that I'll share with you, and all you girls get together on that, and is I'll show you where that's how I became successful. I thought it was hilarious that even in Josh's video today, if you know, people, do you believe that you see the signs when you're looking for the signs?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you hear Josh Wago say, the thing I love most about Mark Cassetta is now I get to do what I used to do, and that's just put everybody in front of somebody that already knows the info. He's the owner of MDC.
Right. I did hear him say that.
A $500 million company. He's 31 years old. What the hell does Josh have to prove? No, he knows what made him $100 million. Is getting people excited and putting them in front of a trainer that can get them to open up and understand. So when I share that with you guys, it's like, if you allow me to be your business partner and your family member, then you get to show my back office.
Okay.
And people see that and go, are you kidding me? A guy
That
with
I can do.
Yeah. And so when you get to trust that process, and we'll walk through every step of it, but I know that you got a clearer picture now.
Yes.
I know you do. And
do.
thank you for being so brave. Did everyone get anything great out of this? Man, I did. Thank you, Sandy. I love you.
Thank you.
God
Thank you
bless
so much.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sandy, thank you so much. Wow.
Thank you.
What a great breakthrough session. I mean, to start this off, wow.
Thank you, Sandy.
Yeah. Just wanted to say thank you also to Bill Shoemaker. He put a donation in the super chat.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill.
And he said, thank you for all you do. And
thank you for all you do.
Yes. And in fact, we'll, if we have time, we'll hear from Bill in just a little while.
Okay.
But thank you again, Bill, for that very, very much. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And please don't forget to like the video here on YouTube. We appreciate it. And thank you. And share with everybody also what a great thing this is, being part of the Inner Circle. That all they have to do is just go to roberthollis.com/join. And they become part of it. And look what they get. An amazing one-on-one with a multimillionaire, a mentor, a gentleman who cares so much about each and every one of us and you.
Well, welcome, Vernay. Welcome, Kelly. I don't know if I said hi to Randy. So thank you guys for coming on here as well.
All right. Let's move on. The next person, there's Randy. Hello. Thank you. The next person that I have with their hand raised is Shauna Hancock. So, Shauna, go ahead, unmute yourself, and share with us, please.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay.
How are you?
Every once in a while, my internet's going spotty, so hopefully it won't break up. So I'm doing well. Thank you.
Good.
And I want to thank you for the videos that you sent me the other day. Those were very helpful. I really appreciate that. And I like that I can keep going back to them. And I really quick want to say thank you for explaining the whole sprinkles thing, because I still like to talk about the products, but I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be posting about products. But now I feel like I can still post about products, but I can still
Absolutely.
then reach out to people as well.
Absolutely.
But so I'm slowly getting through the Science of Getting Rich, the videos that you have, and I'm on chapter 4, and I loved your breakthrough with John,
Yes.
and it made me realize that I'm stuck on my vision. I know like at what point, like what I wanted from my daily choice and like where I want to go, but from there I'm stuck. And I even was talking with Kevin and asked him, and I'm like, what do you see like in 3 years? And he's just like, I don't know. So we're both really stuck. Every once in a while, like something will come, like pop in my head, like when I'm taking my son to school, where I'm like, man, I wish Kevin was home, where we could just go to a coffee shop and talk, or you know, something like that. But other than that, we're just really not. We're stuck. So.
Well, thank you for saying that. And watch this. How many people on here put a 2 in the deal if you've ever been stuck or feel you are stuck? So the first thing I want to say is we don't know that we don't know, Shauna. We don't know that we don't know. So when all of a sudden someone says, well, what's your vision? And you're like, huh? There's another one too, is you know, I'll ask people, well, what do you want? Just tell me what you want. And it's always the generic stuff. It's like, well, I love helping people. And well, what else? And, you know, of course I want to be happy. And okay, what else? Well, you know, I wouldn't mind making some extra money. You know, they could not be more generic, vanilla questions or answers. But the reason that we do that is that's what, you know, 99.9% of the people in the world do. It is generic because no one ever set us down and do what I'm about ready to do to you.
Right.
And my mentor did that to me. You know, just the thought of, do you guys know what's like right now the biggest vision thing that people do in the world and they don't know that they do it? Oh my God, did you hear the lottery is at $380 million? Did you guys hear that? Oh my God, it rolled over and it's $1 billion. And it's like people do all the same crap, don't they? They go, I'd never win it. Or, you know what I would do if I got the money? What would you do? I'd get a new home. I'd pay off my debt. I'd give money to my family. What numbers do you normally pick? I don't play. Hey, you got to get a ticket to even get a chat. But we're humans, right? We're just human. So when you think about your vision, it's something that I guarantee you've already thought about. You've imagined it. And maybe because I see how close you and Kevin are, you guys probably did a little bit of this when you guys were dating, or maybe right after you were married. Because, hey, really, all we need is love.
Right.
Yeah. Well, man, if I'm just in your arms, that's enough. That's enough. But in those times is when you start playing around with your imagination. Did you ever want to travel someplace? If we could live anywhere, where would you like to live? Have you ever thought about, you know, the home that we would have? Would it overseas? Where is it located? See, we all do this, and we start out when we're younger with a giant dream circle. There's cars in there, there's homes in there, there's RVs in there, there's wave runners in there, there's extra homes, there's everything in this dream circle, right? And family, kids, you know, dogs, whatever, right? And then what we do is we go out in the real world and we get a job. And then we start shrinking our dream circle.
Right.
You know, and all of a sudden the dream circle has to fit the income circle.
Right.
And what does it make us do? It does make us grateful for just having what we have.
Mhm.
It's like, man, we got a roof over our head. We got, groceries. We got electricity and heat or air conditioning now, the kids are healthy. We're healthy. It really makes you adjust your gratitude meter because we've all heard that. And that's why it's so important in chapter 7 to really, really have that gratitude for what we have now. It is so powerful for you to be extremely grateful verbally, talking about all the stuff that you have. Because when you're grateful for the stuff that you have, you'll get more. If you're not grateful for what you have. But people mess up and they say, well, if I'm grateful for what I have, then why do I need to move forward? Why do I need more? Well, it's not about you. It's about helping others. See, I thought it was pretty interesting, Shauna, when you said you didn't know what you wanted, but you immediately want Kevin out of his job.
Right. And that's kind of where that's where it stops.
See, why
after that? That's
why
and that's where we got into
why didn't you say anything for you?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I feel like uncomfortable.
I know why you didn't say it for you. Because that's your personality. You're going,
I
Kevin
like helping others.
Kevin being home is for me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you didn't say that I wish Kevin was out of a job so he could have coffee by himself.
Right. Right. Well, and it was funny too at one point because, I'm focusing like, okay, get him home, that he's home with me. And then one day he was like, you realize, like, even if it wasn't like that goal just yet, if it's just half of it where I could drive and be home every night, like we can go to that goal, then go to the next goal. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like I was just focused on him being home.
Yeah. So baby steps.
Yes.
So baby steps. So I think that, see, a lot of people think they have to have this grandiose vision. Believe it or not, vision is by hitting this step and then hitting this step and then hitting this step. The perfect thing I could share with you, Shauna, is for me personally, I'm always looking for acronyms, examples. And so one time my wife and I had this beautiful home in Woodland Hills, California, and it was backed up against, I'll call them mountains, but now that I live, we live in Montana and those are mountains, those were hills. That's probably why they call them hidden hills. And so one day I just had this weird thought in my mind. I felt led to do this. And I just told my wife, listen, I'm just going to go climb that hill. And 3 things happen. You're excited at the beginning of the climb. And then you start getting about a quarter away up and you're going like, it would be easier just to turn around and go back down. It's taking a little longer than you anticipated. You're a little more winded than you thought you should be. Are you still there? Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I seen her not smile and I went, uh-oh, this is either going bad or she's frozen.
Oh boy.
That's okay. We'll see if she jumps back in.
Yeah, definitely will.
Did you guys like where that was going? Do you guys think you ever could do this for other people?
Shauna is back. So go ahead and finish your question.
Nope. I'm going straight to her.
Okay, Shauna, go ahead.
Okay. Yes.
What was the last thing that you heard?
That going quarter of the way up the mountain and then deciding, like thinking of going back down. Yeah.
So you start second guessing yourself. You start overthinking, right? You do all that stuff and you're going, wow, I'm a little winded. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't have what it takes to go up there. And so what you do is you regroup and then you start going some more. And now all of a sudden you're halfway up. And you see, and you have the same thoughts, but they're a little more intense because you're more tired. You there? Okay, cool. And Yeah. So then all of a sudden, when you get 3/4 of the way, it's like there's a weird kind of energy that kicks in because you can see the top. You can see the top and you're going like, I'm almost there. I'm going to pull this off. This is going to work. And that's the way you got to do everything. So when I got to the top of the hill, which it took me over an hour to get to the top of it, that will give you a little clue of how big it was. And you stand up there and you're like, wow, I set a goal. I went out and did this. It only took me an hour. It's pretty cool. And then you step up and you look around and there's another 20 mountains or another 20 hills that are bigger than the one you're on. That's vision. All right. So right now, the vision of making half of what you need to be. So I know this is a personal question, but what is the half money that you need to really make you guys feel like you're halfway or 3/4 of the way? So now it becomes fun and excited because it looks like, man, we're going to have you home by November.
Right.
So do you have a number on that?
Yeah, that would probably be about $2,500.
$2,500.
Mhm.
So do you already know my formula?
Yes.
Yeah. So, you just, so people are not left in the dark. I do this, me personally, I do this all the time. The numbers are just getting bigger. It's like, how much is going to take me to support 25,000 kids? You know what I mean? Get this, you
Right.
guys. You know how much it costs to support a kid for a month? $10.
Hmm.
Is that crazy? So 25,000 kids times $10 times 12 months. It's only $3 million. No problem.
Wow.
See, so now we'll take $2,500, we divide that by 90 in personal volume, and that's 27 people that we have to have. You got to be at 25K and maintain 25K, but we're going up. You're only 3/4 of the way. So why wouldn't you take that to 5K? Why wouldn't you take that to 10K? See? So now the vision is I bet you thought that I was going to try to paint this huge picture for you, but that's a second picture. See what I mean? It's like, let's get you up that hill. And then when you get on top of the hill, you're going to look at all the other hills and mountains and go, there's the next one we're going to get. There's the next one we're going to get. But I still want you to, so now see, it's like, this is where I'm trying to share with each and every one of you, when we have to find 27 people that are just moving their money that they're spending with Walmart, Target, Costco, and Amazon. We're just moving those people over. And the reason you're doing this is so that you and Kevin can do what together?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just
See
I
this?
have more time together, I guess.
Right. Okay. So
yeah.
now, you're sharing on this, on the inner circle that Kevin just quit. Kevin just quit.
Right.
How do you feel?
Like quit that I had the money, or just quit his job?
No, he quit his job.
I'd freak out.
He quit his job because you've been making.
Because we're there.
Yeah,
I would be so excited. Yeah.
You're a 50. You and Kevin are a 50K. You've been at 50K for 3 months, so you got the bonus. Just an extra $5,000 bonus on top of everything else.
Right.
Kevin's quitting. What's the next mountain?
The next mountain would probably be an extra 5,000 a month, so that I could quit my job.
You do have vision.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So here's what we do. We make little steps like that seem like they're nothing when they're frickin' huge. They're huge. You go into a family reunion or you're hanging around and people are like, Shauna, is everything okay? Yeah, everything's awesome. It couldn't be better. You do know it's Wednesday at 3:00. Did you lose your job? No, I retired. And you're making enough money. Is Kevin making enough money now so you guys can survive? No, Kevin quit too. What? How would that feel?
That would be great. And it
See?
would definitely, especially like his mom is a very negative Nancy. Even she's offered, well, my son, today was his last day of school, but she had offered to pick him up for me on Thursdays so that I could be on this. And she was like, this is every Thursday. And I'm like, yep.
Hey, you don't have to ever see your grandchildren again.
Right. Right. And that's
Hey.
where, and it's so nice because Kevin, his mindset has really changed because he was very negative. I
I'm
could just
proud
see
of
his
him.
mom in him, and he's
I'm proud of
really
him.
changed.
When you
Yes.
first introduced me to him, you tell him how proud I am of
All
him.
right.
And then you also tell him, I hope he's proud of himself.
Yes. And I keep telling him I'm proud of him because he's even noticing like other truck drivers. He's like, I don't even want to talk to them. They're
No.
just bringing me down. I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah,
I'm like, then
people
don't.
ask me all the time, hey, I can't get my friends and family in the business. And I'm going, I don't want my friends and family in the business. It's like, are you kidding me? They sit around and think I still go door to door selling skincare. It's like, it is, I don't even want to have the conversation with them. So,
Right.
so letting your mother-in-law know that, oh, by the way, you don't have to pick up the kids anymore. Me and Kevin will pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
we're thinking about doing a little bit of schooling and homeschooling. What do you mean? Well, we're going to Greece and in Italy, and we're taking the kids with us, but it's during the school year. Yeah, I know. I don't want to go to Italy and Greece when everybody else goes.
Right.
You start saying these little things that people just go, what the hell are you talking about? You know what I mean? Listen, we should go,
Yeah.
we should go boating. Let's do it Tuesday afternoon. Let's get up Tuesday and we'll leave around 10:30, 11, go out boating Tuesday in the afternoon. No one's at the lake then. I know that's why we're going then. We're the only boat on the lake. And see, you start having these little visions and these little goals to get to the next goal, because we all need wins. So we
Mhm.
all need wins. So how much money do we need to replace your income? Shauna,
I
how-
would. Oh, I'm here. Yeah. See, and I haven't even figured that out. I would.
you don't have to say.
I would probably guess like 5,000 a month
So
would
now,
replace mine.
so
And it's just where I'm comfortable because I work from home, so I have that
Right.
flexibility with my son. And most days I like my job. This week not so much, but.
Yeah. But
So,
do you see the gradual little hills? The little vision is 25K to 2,500 a month, 50K, 5,000 a month, 100K, that's 10,000 a month. That's now replaced your and Kevin's income. When you guys get there, and for those of you that get there, we'll have other personal conversations about how the government doesn't take as much money as they took from you when you made little money. It's sad that you get to hire a lawyer and you get to hire an accountant and you get to hire a bookkeeper, and they start telling you that you got to spend more money on things or you just got to give it to the government. It's like, so a lot of people
Right.
don't realize the other plateaus that they hit when they start getting their money up there. And it's like, listen, Terry needs a new Escalade. Okay. All right. It's like people go, why are you buying new vehicles all the time? Well, because it's a lease. And I get to write the lease off 100%. How fair is that when other people just get to write off a little bit of their mileage?
right.
So,
Yep.
so how is this helping you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
To know
now-
that I can do the baby steps. Yeah.
Right. So now with that vision created, when, not if, when you start saying, when Kevin quits his job, how would that feel? When I no longer have to do the job that I'm doing, and I can make up my mind how many hours I put into whatever I want. When you and Kevin start having those feelings, then all of a sudden it creates new feelings. So if we wasn't tied to our job, would we take the kids places?
Yes. And especially during the summertime. Because
Yeah.
I feel bad now because we live out in the boonies and my mother-in-law offered to come get my son whenever he wants because they have a pool. But
Right.
he's home with me and only child and gonna be bored.
How old is it? Was it a he?
13.
He's 13.
Yeah, 13.
Right. Yeah. Just incredible. You know, you know, he knows everything. You know what I mean? But
Oh, yes.
as soon as you take him to
Yes.
another country, they all of a sudden realize they don't know anything. It's like, so
Okay.
yeah. So just realize when you go, okay, Kevin and I woke up this morning without an alarm clock. We got to start filling our calendar with stuff. And you want to fill your calendar with moments that take your breath away. Moments
Right.
that, you know, when you look at your son and you see this smile and this glow about him, it makes you cry. And it's like, Mom, why are you crying? I'm just happy. I'm just really, really happy. And you get to see Kevin smile like that. And see the other little things will come, because there was a time where I wanted to travel the world and I filled up 2 passports and then I needed to find something else. So I thought, if I traveled the world and got to see all this stuff, this would be awesome. And then when I ran out of that and took my kids to all these countries, then the next thing was for me is like, there's got to be something different. And that's when, just like Sean called me up and asked me to go meet my mentor, this guy showed up and said, I'd like to take you to lunch. I thought it was a rep in my group. I said, absolutely. We're out of town. We just want to come meet you. And I said, sure. So I met him and he tells me about, his name is Matthew and his wife is Angel. And they told me about, he came from India and the bunch of people put money together because he was an orphan to get him educated so he could come to the United States. And so he comes to the United States, gets a job at Microsoft, and then hated every day of it. So he told me that if he could just wave a magic wand and have anything, he wants to go back to India to take care of orphans like someone took care of him. And I said, so what's stopping you? And he said, money. And I said, great, I'll help you with that. And that's how I got it. So again, always asking, you know, okay, what's the next thing? I'm asking for help constantly. Every day I'm asking for help. What's the next thing? And so don't feel like you have to have the grandiose vision, because my vision changes all the time. If you would have told me 3 years ago, that I wanted to earn over $10 million a year so I could give away 8. If you would have told me 3 years ago, because I'll tell you what it was. I mentally in my mind was still overthinking. Are you guys listening to me? I'm overthinking because of 2 things. I went to a professional performance coach, and he's a performance coach for people like Rob Dyrdek, Tony Robbins, Brendan Burchard. I found out where's the best people go. You know what I mean? So he wrote a book called The Code to Joy, and me and my wife went and seen him. And he says, what's your problem? And I said, I'm just stuck at $2 million a year. I know some of you are cracking up right now. And it's like, I seem like I got this plateau. And he goes, is there someone that you like? And I said, yeah, I like Brendan Burchard. And he goes, hey, and he pulls open a file and he shows me a picture of him and Dr. Pratt and Brendan Burchard. And he says, look it, he says, here's me and Brendan. And I said, wow. And he goes, I said, well, I hired him to help me write my book. And then we ended up getting that on Amazon. That turned into a bestseller then, and 3 categories. And he goes, do you know how many employees Brendan has? I said, no. And I think he told me 24 or something like that. He's got 24 employees. He goes, how many employees do you have? None. My son works with me and my wife works with me. He goes, so you don't have 24 employees? I said, no. He goes, how can you build your brand if you don't trust anybody to do what they're great at? See, that's a breakthrough, isn't it?
Right.
That's a breakthrough. And at that time, I made the decision. I'm not a good CEO. I don't like being a CEO. I don't want that responsibility. It takes all the fun away. Now I go, Robert, you were never supposed to be the CEO. You're supposed to hire a CEO. And then I attracted these stories where Yahoo got so big, true story, that they turned around and rented a temporary office space with temporary furniture to go CEO hunting. And when this lady came in, I think she used to work for Hasbro. I don't remember her story, but she came in and she Ivy League, has the CFO. She's just, I think she was the head person behind Mr. Potato Head.
Okay.
International, right? So they bring her in and they say, we want you to be the CEO. And she says, well, can I look at the books? And she's going, are these figures correct? And they're like, yeah. And if you want to be the CEO, we'll give you a percentage of the company. So if you turn it into more, then we don't not only become billionaires, but so do you. And she says, if I'm going to be the CEO and you two founded this, what are your titles? And they both looked at each other, Chief Yahoos. And she went, you gotta be kidding me. They go, we know we're smart, but we know we're not CEOs. Isn't that crazy? And then Yahoo became what it is today. And they had a chance to buy Google and also Facebook and turned it down.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes you can make too much money where you think you're too big.
Mhm.
And then the people that you didn't buy end up outproducing you. Why? Vision. So did this help you?
Yes, it did.
So you
Thank
feel
you.
you feel good?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. But
And just a little side note, Kevin just found out that there's a NASCAR race when we're in Nashville. And so he wants you, he said he thinks that you and him should just sneak off to the NASCAR race. It's the 25th.
That's pretty tempting.
I was like, of course.
If anyone didn't miss me, I would go in a heartbeat.
Right.
Hey, tell him that he's got to figure out if he could go to any NASCAR race that he wanted to.
Mhm.
That he needs to figure that race out, and me and him, if you and Terry want to go, you'll go. But I'd love to go to a NASCAR race with him.
Okay, I will tell him.
Yeah, we just got to plan it out and do it away from business.
Right.
Anything else that you have, Shauna?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
The thing I want you to do with Kevin too is say, Robert asked me to do this one assignment. Okay.
Okay.
You just quit your job. I just quit my job. We're don't want to mix numbers. So you're 100K and you're making $11,000 a month. Second thing, you made $11,000 in a month for 3 months in a row. So there's like, oh my God, we did it. And then, wow, we did it again. And oh my God, this isn't consistent.
Right.
I don't like people. I don't want people making decisions before they feel comfortable. So I tell people that you should have at least 3 months of living expenses in your checking account before you even think about that, because you don't want to quit prematurely and then you go through all the anxiety of whether or not you figured it out.
Right.
Okay. So now you're both are right there. I want you guys to not only imagine when that happens, the way you feel, but go through that imaginary scenario where you're both together at coffee, all by yourselves, and you're both looking at each other and going, now what?
Okay.
Are we buying a house where everybody says you can't live there because you don't make enough money and it's going to have a pool?
Right.
And we're going to have a home warming party and invite everybody over? This is going to be good. Wow, how the hell? Oh, by the way, you could either call me and I'll give you the code to the gate. Oh, wait a minute. I'll just tell John, the gate guy, to let you in. Like, what? What do you mean you got a gate guy?
Right.
And maybe that's not it at all.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? So, but
Right.
you both want to start dreaming there a little bit, because if you're thinking what the next mountain's going to be or what the next big hill's going to be, you can't have that imagination if you're not already there. And that's what creates the law of attraction or whatever you're talking about, your imaginations, and you start getting into that emotional feeling. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of ways where people say they're going to quit their job, but then there's people that give a 2 weeks notice and train the person that takes over for them. This is not one of those things where, my boss is awful. No, I really appreciate them and I love what they did for me. I actually enjoyed it, but I need to do more things.
Right.
And you couldn't have a better motivation for, your son just being 13. I mean, honestly, I tell people all the time, and this might sound harsh, but I know you won't take it as harsh. When kids turn teenagers, they believe they know it all, but they really don't know where they're going either. But they just know they don't want to do what their parents are doing.
Right.
Change that. Because my children love what I do.
Right.
They might
Well,
not.
and I know at one point he mentioned that my mother-in-law was like, what do you want to do? Like, was drilling him. And he goes, I want to be a famous YouTuber. And she told me that. And I said, and I was like, what do you want to do, Derek? I'm like, let's get a YouTube channel going. Now he's like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, why? I'm like, let's do this. I'm like, she's a dream killer, and I just
well yeah, just ask him more about, let sit down with him and just say, listen, have you heard of Mr. Beast?
Oh, he loves Mr. Beast.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
have the candy bars. We have like tons of candy bars here.
When Terry just bought some chocolate chip cookies from him.
Right. I don't care for the cookies, but the candy bars are really good.
Here we're talking about a YouTuber that makes over $100 million a year. And here's a couple of people. Yeah, we bought his cookies. We bought his candy bars. No wonder he's worth $100 million. It's
right.
Like brilliant. So Shauna, thank you so much. I love and appreciate you. Thank you so being
thank
so
you.
Brave. I love you and Kevin. And I what's your son's name?
Derek,
I just want to put that in my head. So
yep.
Anytime you want to put Derek on with me, let me know. And
okay.
Derek might even talk to my youngest son. I don't know if he talked to him because he just hangs out in his room and plays video games. And,
right.
Yeah, he's got over mid six figures just sitting in his bank account. So he's like, people are like, hey, you should go do something. I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy. It's like,
Right.
so people, all those kids that were sitting in front of their computers for hours are sure getting the last laugh.
Right. Yes.
It's like, why are you sitting in front of the computer? It's like, now you're asking to borrow money? What? I don't understand. It's like, all right, Shauna, I love you.
All right. Love you too, Robert. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Shauna, wow, thank you. This is what all these breakthroughs are about. OMG. I think
how many people believe that Shauna is going to pull it off? 2 or more believing in it?
Thank you.
Bingo. Yes, yes. Okay, Craig, we got Bill left.
We got Bill, so that's all I needed to hear from you.
Okay.
Mr. Shoemaker. There you go. Open up and please share with us.
Thank you, Craig. You are amazing. And Robert, wow. Breakthroughs. My goodness. 2, Sandy and Shauna, you guys were awesome. And I know everybody else learned a lot as well. And wow. So I wanted to thank you, Robert, for posting the Eric Worre video. I watched that today, and I tell you what, it made me cry. And
Oh my God, thank you.
Facing the Giants, I've seen that one before, but the way you finished off that video was amazing. Oh my God, you were crying. I bet you the whole audience was crying at that event.
I'm telling you, the way God set that up. I know the guys behind the stage, they were Cash Media and Joe Kenmore and his brother. And when the video stopped, you could hear it playing backstage. And no one knew what was going on. No one didn't know why it wasn't airing over the speakers. Why would the video be playing, but the audio wouldn't be playing, but it's playing in